Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a grid and how to begin shading for your fractured value. So in order to create the grid, you're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and a ruler. You can use half of your sketchbook page or you can use the whole thing. Of course, if you do the whole thing, it'll take you longer, but the more practice, the better. So it's all good. I'm going to create a rectangle, and then it doesn't really quite matter how your lines are. You just want to do sections. So I'm sort of randomly creating. Sometimes I'm going all the way through and sometimes I'm stopping. And I'm creating sections that are, I'm using a lot of diagonal lines to do this and to create a fun pattern. Don't get too small because it'll be harder to practice. And I think that is probably all I'll do. So there's my grid. Once I have my grid, I'm going to try to not have one value against another. So for example, if my lightest value's here, in each section it'll go dark to light. So if my darkest, I'm starting here and I start with my darkest, 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 and I go all the way down to my lightest, I'm not going to start light here. I'm going to start dark. I might even start my dark in this corner and shade this way. So whenever you come up against something, try to change it up. It might not always work, but do your best. So when I start to shade, remember, start with your darkest first and then transition the best you can by lifting your pressure of your pencil and try to stay, within the lines. Remember, your eraser is going to be super useful here as well because you might need to erase. You might need to go back and forth with your pencil to get the transition nice. Like I think this is too dark here, so I'm going to use my my eraser and lighten it up a little bit. Try not to smear with your fingers and don't leave any spots showing your paper. You want to make sure that this whole grid is covered, so when it's finished, you will have transitions from light to dark in all of your sections. And it will look like a fractured, kind of shattered piece.